Hello, welcome to a new episode of Fighting with Moszkowicz. And today I have a very special guest, Mr. Jeremy Corbell. He released brand new UAP footage a couple of weeks ago, and that stirred a lot up. There's a lot going on. We're going to talk Louis Elizondo, Senator Harry Reid, and much, much, much more. And you will hear new things. Enjoy the show.
Let's begin. And what would you like, what would you like to cover that is different than what's been covered, maybe? Because you're good at taking unique, I appreciate the things you talk about.
Yeah, well, I think because there's so much happening right now. Let's talk about that because you are a huge part of that.
Okay.
Because of, you released that footage.
Yeah.
And basically this gave like a new injection of media attention to the whole subject. But also, there's, more public criticism now.
Yeah.
I think. And, I do think criticism is good because it keeps your mind sharp. You have to still, you have to be on your game. It also gives you a good drive to, really convince people this is happening. But it had a bit of a stressful effect on you guys, I think. Can you maybe elaborate on that a bit?
So what's the specific question that I can...
How do you feel about, the way the release of your footage developed throughout the days?
Yeah, it's actually very interesting to me. I tried something kind of unique, and you are the first person to ask me that question. So that's interesting. Look, I've been working on how to get information out to the global public in a way that's going to have the greatest possible functional impact. And that's a very difficult thing to decide how to do. You can dump everything you got on YouTube or anywhere, Twitter, and then walk away and let people fight about it.
Right.
So or you can go through traditional outfits and traditional media and allow it to be superimposed upon the world through the lens of traditional media. And that's a very thick lens. So what I decided to do is go raw. And I decided to put my releases out first through Instagram. And I thought this was exciting because it democratizes the idea of information release. It democratizes the idea that everybody can have their own opinions, their own scrutiny, their own methodology of analyzing the information. I can only give you what I have at the moment that I feel strongly about.
Sure.
It is my ethics and my duty not to release something that I am unwilling to stand up on my own 2 feet and throw punches for. So what I release to the world is information that I am extremely confident with. And if you know me, that actually means something. That is why I held back for quite some time on the specific date and time of the USO, Unidentified Submerged Object, the trans-medium vehicle that was a sphere on the USS Omaha that went from air to sea without destruction. And I gave down to the minute.
The fourth picture, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, that was different. I mean, that was additional. So I released a slide that was an unclassified slide that happened to also be contained within a classified briefing. 3 images of the USS Omaha. They captured these stills, what looked like still photographs of this object. However, as you pointed out, there was an additional image that I recently released of the same event, but I also gave the exact date, the exact time, the exact down to the minute that the object went into the water.
Yeah.
So what I have done is I have provided the public from a place of total information democracy, the information on my Instagram. I gave everybody the briefing titles and dates where I got information. These were also contained within. So now it's up to the public to fact check me. And I get that. You should fact check me. I beg you to fact check me. There is a difference between debunkers and skeptics, or debunkers and truth seekers. Yeah. So that's what we're witnessing now, apparently, although I haven't really opened, social media to look. That's what we're experiencing. Yeah. So I just wanted to be very clear that I decided to release this footage in a way that I thought would be most interesting to the global public and would also democratize the concept of fact checking.
Right. I think it's very interesting, the development right now, because what you just said, there's a lot of people on both sides who are hell-bent on pursuing the truth, right? So basically, what nobody really realizes, we are looking for the same. So whatever you do on each side of the line, you are actually making your cases together stronger, because it helps you both.
You may be an altruistic person, is what I'm realizing from our discussion, because your belief system just showed me that you understand reality to be that everybody's fighting for the same goal, for the truth.
Right.
Unfortunately, I disagree. It is my experience that not everybody is fighting for the truth.
No, I agree with you fully, because there are people who are just sour pusses and they want to hate.
What they're doing
take you out
is they're like, from a martial arts perspective. You recently interviewed Bas Rutten, who's a living legend. He's a hero of mine. And in talking with Bas Rutten, you said that he had a UFO experience, which I hope that you get in the English language, because unfortunately, sure, I'm not bilingual. So I'd like to hear it. But from a fighter's perspective, we have people on their heels. It's really hard to throw a punch on your heels. So the debunkers are desperate. And it is obvious that they are taking desperate attempts to try to safeguard their version of reality, an antiquated version of reality.
I do think it's all about fear, right? People are very afraid of the unknown. And whenever something comes up, which is going to interfere with all of their axioms, or like I'm not sure if I said that right. It's like whatever you believed in for your
their
whole
belief
life.
Systems, right?
Exactly. So whenever something interferes with that creates fear for some people, a lot of people actually. So what they do, their demeanor becomes aggressive, verbally, or maybe sometimes even physically. But I think this is what you're experiencing, because you are on the verge of a change in mankind. And this is scaring the shit out of a lot of people.
I don't know. All I know is when you corner a wild animal, a wild animal tends to fight back with whatever tools they have. And I see an epistemological warfare going on, where the nature of reality that some people are just clinging to and bound to. I'm not even saying I know what UFOs are. I know what UFOs aren't. I know these aren't drones. I know these UFOs are not drones, but I don't know what they are. But you can see this internal struggle, like from the modern day warfare, from the days of my martial athletic career. I can see we have cornered people's egotistical desire to be on the hierarchy of the, existence of consciousness. And they're like, hold up. Are we not on top of the food chain? What's going on? Is there technology greater than ours? This is like, you can see this defensive mechanism coming into play. prior to any identification, prior to anything, you see people desperately trying to hold on.
Yeah. Well, that's a very human reflex,
Yes.
you know, but,
yeah,
but then
I
again,
admit that.
But then again, you know, there's you know, dudes like you and me who really like to look over the edge of the cliff, you know.
Yeah, I
see what's there.
Look, I don't know. I never claimed to know what UFOs are, but I know what they're not. You know, they're not balloons. They're not conventional drones. I mean, it would be so nice if they were. You know, look, it would be almost in a way interesting if they were foreign adversarial technology that just seems to, you know, outdo anything that, you know, humanity has ever provided, you know, display of in the theater of war. It's possible.
Look, let's just say it. You know, a lot of people think we are talking about aliens.
Yes.
That's what they think, but we're not. We actually say we just don't know what this is. It's unknown.
Correct.
It's the you we're talking about, the unknown.
Yes.
Right. We hope it is alien, but
you know, honestly, I just hope to learn in my lifetime. It's like, what is alien? You know, alien means something that is alien to us. Like it's so outside of our comprehended borders of reality that we're pushing on that barrier to try to describe it. I don't know even what that word means. You know, maybe we could define it. We could say, you know, maybe we're experiencing spacecraft from another star system that have traveled here to witness humanity's terraforming of planet Earth. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a definition. I get that. Is it that? I have no idea.
Well, yeah. No, there is, of course, a lot of, I'm not saying proof, but there's a clear pattern on what we observe now, right? Through people like Mr. Elizondo, you yourself, you know, they show up at military places where usually there are some form of, you know, mass destruction weapons, maybe nukes, you know. This is a pattern. Still not saying it's alien.
You've got a case where you live that's very compelling. Maybe tell us the basics of that case so that people pick up on it.
For sure. I'm going to talk about it with actually our friend later, but it's the Soesterberg case from 1979, which was a shared military base by Americans and the Dutch. Well, the base was called New Amsterdam. Actually, the Americans were there in really top secrecy. And this January of this year, a big newspaper finally disclosed they did have nuclear weapons all the time.
Wow.
At the Soesterberg.
Yeah.
So it was always denied, but now there's proof. We know for a fact there were nukes all the time, especially during the Cold War.
Yeah.
In 1979, 12 Dutch military men were witness to a triangle the size of a football field hovering above their head. It was nighttime. It lit up the whole airport. They could read a book like they were lying in the sun.
Yeah.
And it shot off like a bullet.
Were there individual lights that was on the circumference kind of the triangle, or was the whole thing illuminated? Do you know for certain?
I fact check me on this, but I think it was like surrounded by light. Yeah.
So there were individual lights on the circumference of the triangle?
Yeah. And I don't think they were like on at the same time all the time. They were like doing this little waltz or dance thing, I think.
I will tell you something. You know, have you heard of the Phoenix Lights incident in the US?
Yeah.
So, you know, kind of, we'll say triangular, but, you know, a large craft.
V-shaped,
Yeah, V-shaped, and it had a number of lights along the edge.
Yeah.
There's a recent case that's pretty astounding.
Do tell me.
Well, I'm not going to, but it's over a military facility. And I've acquired more than 20 videos from different angles of this one event. So I'm so curious to find out if this is a real event, if this is something known or unknown. But it's pretty new information. It's new to me, and it's recent. And I'm so curious to find out if it's a real event or not. Maybe it relates.
Did you get to see the footage?
Huh?
Did you get to see the footage already?
Oh, I'm the only one. Yeah, I got it.
Dude, that's
I got
awesome.
it. But
that's
you know,
awesome.
the question is, at this moment in my life, I have to be honest with you. You know, I'm not looking to make a mistake.
No,
You know,
no.
I
Do
put
what
out,
you have to do first.
you know, I put out information, and let's just focus on that. I'm just telling you, based on your historic event in your country that you had, that in the light of Lou Elizondo's comments recently about, you know, UFOs engaging nukes, although that is not new to any of us that have been in the UFO world and have looked at this. You know, if you look at Robert Salas and what happened at Maelstrom Air Force Base and the shutting down of 10 Minuteman nuclear missiles, and how this is all documented, and how actually he came forward thinking it was his case that was put out, but in fact it was another case. So when he came out, it added a case. I mean, there's a lot of detail here, but I think it's important you talk about what happened to your country. That case is very important. Now you know there are nukes there. It causes you to ask a question, and you probably have asked yourself this question. What question does it cause you to ask?
Why are they engaging the nukes, right?
Great question.
Yeah. And, you know, there's lots of reasons why you would want to take out nukes. It's basically, you know, slapping the matches out of the hands of the talking monkeys.
Right.
Yeah. But that's just me. I speak personally. If I would be a very advanced life form with a very superior technology, and I have some weird relationship with this planet and whatever is living there, they just don't know it about it, but I'm just gonna, you know, protect them from themselves.
Right. So that is one of the theories. You know, there's a few theories about who occupies as far as control of these advanced aerospace transmedium vehicles. Who controls them? What is the intent of those who control them?
Right.
So there's a number of theories that people have put forward. You know, one is the zoo theory, like just like we'd go to Arkansas and look at aardvarks. You know, you got a theory and you're like, okay, I think they like our top hats and our cupcakes and our kimonos, but like that's my theory. You know, I don't know if it's true. However, whoever is visiting, maybe they're not visiting. You know, maybe they're from here. Maybe they've been here longer than us. There's the theory that, you know, we are a commodity, that they don't want us to blow ourselves up with the nukes. So they kind of demonstrate control, turning them on and off. But who are they? I mean, we haven't even like got to that point. You know, is this a foreign nation that just like leapfrogged in technology? I don't know. Big questions. And it would be nice to be able to tackle these questions without ridicule. And I think that the world is ready for that. And I think that the global public is ready to engage that question.
Yeah, and I think it's, you know, quite amazing and so brave what Louis Elizondo, Harry Reid, the people did who are trying to pressure, you know, the government onto making the people aware of what is actually going on. And, you know, it's a very effective strategy to just release little by little something that is, you know, not sensitive material, but it is material that we can't explain, and they just let people know, look, there they are, can't explain it, what do you think? And now people like me are getting interested, and I'm starting to cover it, right? And the pressure builds and builds and builds and builds. So I think, you know, they're doing an amazing job.
Well, like Senator Harry Reid said, and for people that don't know, Senator Harry Reid is a U.S. former senator that started the OSAP program. The OSAP program
predecessor of ATIP, right?
Say it again.
Predecessor of ATIP.
Kind of. Advanced Aerospace Weapons Systems Operations Program or something. OSAP. I probably messed that up. Advanced Aerospace Weapons Systems Applications Program. Okay. So, yeah, people say it's the predecessor to ATIP. I am not going to dispute that at this time. That's not important. What is important is that was a bona fide, black budget, UFO, and associated phenomena program that was generated with taxpayer money at $22 million to study the phenomenon.
Right.
ATIP was focused solely on the military encounters. It received zero funds from the $22 million. But that's not the point.
No.
The point is that Harry Reid is the gentleman who championed this program into existence with two other senators and got it going. This is the only acknowledged UFO program with ATIP since Project Blue Book in 1969, where the US government said, we no longer are studying UFOs, nothing to see here, move on. Like, that was it. So Senator Harry Reid is important for that reason. Now, what Senator Harry Reid said, he is on record, so somebody who's in position to know and would know and does know. He is on the record in saying that the majority of UFO information has never been released to the public.
Right.
That's important.
Yeah.
That's news.
Yeah.
What else is there? What do we need to know?
It's very interesting, you know, and I feel sometimes quite sorry for it when there's something new released, because they're, you know, so dependent on just FLIR cam footage, right? And I talked about this with Louis, and now I'm talking about it with you. It would be so helpful if there would be some additional data with.
When you say Louis, who do you mean?
Elizondo.
Okay, because we also have another Louis or Louis.
Louis Jimenez.
Tell me about him.
He's my friend.
You know? So what did he do?
Yeah, he did the big phone home. Huge,
yes.
And you were the guest of honor.
No, I was. No, there was a lot of people on that.
Well, one of them, yeah.
But what Louis did, and why I'm kind of baiting you into this question, trying to turn the tables on you as a journalist, is because
man, so did Louis.
Louis, what he did, Louis. So Louis brought people together on a global scale. He did the big phone home, and he encouraged people who are interested in this to take physical action and not just be a bystander and a participant and an absorber of this information, and become an actual participant in moving forward, pushing the ball forward on this topic of simply UAP or UFO transparency. So I just want to kind of honor our common friend Lou, because man, he did the big phone home, and that was a big fucking deal.
Awesome. We were talking about the footage that has been released, and of course now it gets a lot of attention, and people are demanding data along with that, you know, and some science.
People are demanding data?
In here they do, yeah.
Okay, but I mean, what does that mean? Like, they're demanding, okay, go get some data.
Well, maybe some radar, you know.
No, I understand. It's so funny. People are so demanding. Like, you have more information today than you had yesterday. Why don't you go do some work?
For sure, but humans are spoiled, and you know, we live in
oh, you said it, not me.
Yeah.
All right.
We live in the information era, and you know, they're very demanding. What you just said, yeah, that's true.
Well, okay, so maybe that is good. They should be demanding. Who are they demanding this from?
Yeah,
I'm asking. I don't know.
Well, it's not fair. I know that they're demanding it from you. You released, or Louis Elizondo. Yeah.
Well, I don't have it.
True. Yeah, but you know, when I asked Louis, you know, because he, of course, was sitting on, you know, he wasn't in, you know, the leader of ATIP, and you know, it's a very hard subject because, of course, you know, some of the stuff is still secret, you know, so his hands are bound too, you know, that's a problem. But I think I have a feeling, you know, they might, you know, add a little data, but that's just a feeling.
Oh, I hope so. Take the pressure off of me and Lou Elizondo. I think Lou Elizondo is being treated very unfairly, by the way. I don't follow the news too closely, especially right now.
Yeah, I saw they tried to discredit him.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Unbelievable. Lou Elizondo, from what I know, is an American patriot. He's somebody that gave his life to our country. Like, and to try to retroactively back engineer the discrediting of somebody, it was really astonishing to me when I saw people do that. I mean, I see people trying to do that to me, no problem. I see them trying to egg on the Pentagon to try to, further investigate what I obtained and released to the public. I see these like blogs or websites. It's always my family or friends that send them to me, these negative things. But I thought it was unbelievable that this is the focus of some people, is just trying to harm the messenger. If they can dehumanize the messenger, they dismiss the message. That seems to be their goal. And I was like, wow, you're going to do that to me. But at the same time, I see that Lou Elizondo, they're trying to discredit him, as you said, as a way to kind of minimize the message. And I think that Lou Elizondo is probably one of these people that the more they try to suppress him, the louder he'll get. I believe that to be true. So
he won't be muzzled,
No, I doubt that. So good luck.
But the super cool thing, of course, was Mr. Reid, Senator Reid, coming to the rescue, and sharing a official certificate, and an endorsement that Elizondo, did what he said he did.
Okay, but Max, so George Knapp already released a document proving that So, okay, let's back up. When George Knapp said he had some new information, everybody said he had nothing. Then George Knapp released 3 brand new images out the cockpit of an FA-18 fighter plane shot by the Wizzo, which is the weapons system operator of the F-18. So he had them. Then they said, okay, Jeremy's got no new info. And then bang, I dropped 2 slides, 6 images, and 1 video. So it's just astonishing to me. Let me just ask you this.
Sure.
Do you what do you think about this? Meaning, in your country where you're living, you are in the minutia. You see that they tried to discredit Lou Elizondo. You saw that was fake. And then you are telling me that you saw Senator Harry Reid's official letter to vindicate Lou Elizondo. So my question to you is, who else is paying attention to this? Are people paying attention to this at all? Do they understand what's going on? I mean, this is not mainstream, this aspect of it yet. So
but this really picked up speed in a really short time, And I see like a panic reaction, and this is why, they try to spread misinformation, try to discredit Mr. Elizondo. This is what we in Holland call, there's a saying, we call it panic soccer.
What do you call it?
Panic soccer. It's like, football, like playing football. But, you are on the defense and you just kick the ball and you don't care where it goes,
Hey, luckily, man, I've always been smaller compared to anybody I've ever fought. So I'm good at throwing punches on my heels. So, we're in panic soccer, but luckily, we've got like laser guns.
Yeah. So let me see. All right. So you got some abuse by Mick West. Let's not elaborate on that. I think that was covered.
Oh, no. Anybody and their mother can give abuse, but it has zero relevance if they're pulling it out of their ass, which everybody seems to be. Yeah.
Sure. But now Mr. Reid did an interview, and I think his words were a bit twisted. It was that he said, I think the footage you released were Russian drones. But
that's just fake. That's just fake. That's not.
He didn't say that, actually.
He did not say that. He literally did not say that.
People should watch that back.
That's absolutely fake from my understanding. Now, if you have a piece of footage you can show me that has him saying that, I would love to know what he meant.
You could mistake it for a suggestion, I think, at the most, but but then you would
have to ask Harry Reid, because I didn't see the clip yet, I would love to see the clip.
No, but what he basically was saying is what we're saying. You know, we don't know yet. Could be the Russians, could be a UAP, it could be the China. We don't know yet.
But somebody pretended that Harry Reid said that these were objects from Vladimir Putin. Is that what you're saying?
I think he basically said that never underestimate the Russians.
Well, I mean, that's not a bad policy, but at the same time, I highly doubt that Senator Harry Reid even remotely implied something as definitive as what you previously stated to me. I think that tabloids tend to take things out of context. Yeah. I think that we are all curious if these objects are a foreign adversarial technology, in which case we are in more trouble than if it is some sort of technology from another star system, because that would mean that somebody was hiding an advanced technology that has never been demonstrated in the theater of war in the history of humanity. And they've been hiding it till now. Okay.
Yeah, that would be embarrassing because they've been hiding it for about 60 years.
It would be more than embarrassing. It would be highly dangerous.
Yeah. I think my son is really hungry and I have to get him some sandwiches pretty soon. So I'm going to go to the last questions. Okay, Jeremy, hit me with whatever is going to come. What can you disclose to me? And what can we expect from you in the near future? Are you going to blow our minds again?
Yes. Yeah.
That's what I wanted you to say.
Luckily, that's what I said. Yeah, I will.
All right. A little hint?
Well, you know, my problem is I'm not like the famous Uri Geller. Like I don't know when my coffee pot is going to go on, even if I've set it. I have no sense of premonitory power. However, I do know that the UFO mystery has been guarded and shielded from general public understanding for too long. And I know that that day is ending. And
I like those words.
My doggy is just making sounds back there. He's excited too. So, you know, I know that's ending. Now, how that's going to end, I'm not sure. You know, what exactly is going to happen, I really don't know.
I do see a poster of Bob Lazar right there. Is that a coincidence? Or?
That's from a very cool artist who made a really cool drawing.
I have been paying attention, my friend.
All right. That's very cool. But yeah, no, I do think that there is relevance there. I think that if you really, I'm going to give you a very straightforward answer. And again, this is now, I have to transition. This is my opinion. Okay.
Yeah.
Not what I know, my opinion, but it's an informed opinion. I think that Bob Lazar was right when he said that these craft are gravitationally propelled and that it's a gravity amplification system. And I can tell you for certain that this is the common knowledge within the Department of Defense and within the agencies that study this scientifically for decades, that these are gravity propelled craft and that the optics that we see and the radar targets that we pick up, that some of those phenomena are related to the distortion of time and space based upon the propulsion system itself, and that looking for these gravitational anomalies help us to understand, as far as sensor data, what it is we're looking at, and that we don't have the material science yet to replicate these systems, yet we understand fully how they work.
Yeah.
So
But first we have to figure out gravity, right?
No.
No? Oh.
No. We don't got to understand anything. I don't think so. I don't know. It's like I don't understand gravity, but I can still pour, you know, a drink into my mouth. Like, how much do you need to understand? if you can manipulate time space itself through distorting
I know
gravity.
gravity is a result of I think time and space. That's what Louis
You're
Anderson.
ahead of me, man. I don't know. Just used an analogy about pouring a beer into my mouth.
I'm talking out of
I don't
my
know.
ass. I'm completely messing it up. I just heard myself say it, you know. But Jeremy, it was a pleasure talking to you, and I want to continue this very, very soon when I have a little bit more, time.
I can see it getting lighter where you are. I can't believe your family puts up with you. I don't know how my family puts up with me. Good luck at negotiating the family environment. Enjoy yourself. For you,
when I just talked to them, you should have seen their faces. They're gonna beat me up now.
Well, at least you're a trained fighter.
All right, man. Hey, thank you so much. Hey, talk soon, man. And let's keep in touch.
You got it, brother. I'm very proud of what you're doing in the Netherlands. I'm very proud of what you're doing globally. I'm very proud of what you've told me you're going to do and what you've accomplished. You're contributing. So thank you for having me on. It's my pleasure. And I hope we can do it again very soon.
Same here. And you are a brave man, Jeremy Corbell. You're doing something other people are not willing to do. You're putting out your neck. You just keep it up and don't let them take you down. And even if they take you down, you just put them in the Kimura. I know that.
There we go. Kimura is the best. Sakuraba all day long.
All right, man. See you later,
man.
Bye.
I hope you enjoyed this episode with Jeremy Corbell. And if you really liked it, subscribe to my channel so I can do this stuff more often. Till next time in Fighting with Moszkowicz.